Hello, hello, hello. This is Tati from the Power Surge Corner blog, also known as Shepherdess Natasha Pyramid Pile. How are my young women and men of God doing today? Today, I'm going to need my mature women and men of God and those that have been in business for a while to kind of like co-sign with me on this, because I want to pick up where I left off on failure can work in your favor. And I stopped at, but I really want to elaborate on that. I stopped on, failure will make you learn who your friends are. That's where I stopped, but I want to pick up there. Failure will teach you who your friends are. I say failure is a friend filter. It filters out real friends real quick. As long as you're riding high and everything is good, howdy, doody, everything is wonderful, everybody is with you and everybody is on your side. But when things begin to go south for whatever the reason is, all of a sudden your friends become few. And I tell you, that's why I say failure is a friend filter. And sometimes that's God's way of weeding out some, because you got too much. You have too many friends and too many people around you that really don't mean you no good. So sometimes God will allow things to fail so you can weed out who your real friends are and who's really on your side, who's really praying for you, who's really getting down in the trenches. Now, true friends are God-ordained people positioned at different time periods of your life to be of support, to inspire, to motivate, and to give you sound advice and wise counsel at different increments of your life. There you will have friends at different increments of your life. Friends that I have childhood friends that we are really great friends, but then I have friends that I've met in my adult years and we are great friends. We are perfect best friends. So God will send people at different increments of your life. And sometimes we have to make new friends because one of our friends, our best friend, may have died. You just never know, or they moved away, clear cross country, and you don't talk as much. So, but you still have that great friendship. They're still your best friend no matter what. You all go through thick and thin together. And true friends will do everything they can to keep you safe and make you safe. And if they feel that you are in danger, they will do everything to work with you and to keep you safe emotionally, physically, and mentally, and spiritually. True friends love you for who you are. They love you. They don't care for what you have. They don't care what you have, but they love you for who you are, whether you have something, whether you accomplish something or nothing. And that's who true friends are. And I always ask God to always put me in the place with friends that mean me good. That's going to be a blessing to me just as I am a blessing to them. Amen. And the next one, which is number 8, is learning to cope with your emotions. In failure, our emotions get out of whack. I know mine do. And I'm like, oh my God. And sometimes I get so overwhelmed and I get so over the top. It is just outright ridiculous. I get beside my own self. I get on my own nerves. But that was a big test for me. When you get emotional because of failure, it's very hard. It's hard for me. It was hard for me to stay focused. So I've learned how not to let my emotions frustrate my purpose and the plan of God, because that's all it comes to do. It wants to frustrate you. It wants to slow you down. Evidently, you must have something good if the enemy is working very hard to stop you. You got to have something good. As far as I'm concerned, the plan of God is always good. But I continually refocus and retrain my mind to see positive things rather than the negative ones. I go back to my vision often and see what worked. Sometimes you can't always go back and see what didn't work. Let me see what worked, because when I see what worked, it encourages me to see those things that failed. I'm able to get back on the horse and get moving. So, and like I said, the mind is very much like a lens of a camera. It will see whatever you focus on. So I don't focus on sometimes the failure all the time. I focus on the things that work. So when I look at the failures, I'm able to go back and rework without the frustration, because there are some things that work and sometimes there are no things that work. But because I remember and know the outcome of God's promise in my life, that's what keeps me and calms me down. Or I've learned how to focus on things like that, Going back and seeing what worked in your vision and rework the vision trains your mind to focus on the right things. I had to focus on the potential, the possibility. That enabled me to cope with my emotions. It brought a hope to me because I had to refocus. Refocus on what is good and what's working will bring a hope that when the failure comes, you know how to work with it. You don't get out of sort with it, but you know how to work with it and work with the changes that need to be made. That means you're controlling the narrative. The enemy's not writing your story and telling you that it's over. You're writing your story and saying, I'm getting back up and making it work. The ninth one is in refocusing and re-envisioning your potential and purpose for your goal. You need to see them clearly. When you write the vision and make it plain, you are setting goals for your potential success. To re-envision your goals means to take a step back. Sometimes we be so far up and we working, we really can't see what's going on. So we have to take a step back and see what is in purpose intent of. And sometimes when we're up close and personal, we don't get to see where the enemy is hiding out in different places. So if we step back, we notice something is out of place. That's where the enemy is hiding out, trying to sabotage you down the line. So that's where you're able to re-envision some things and pick it up. So setback is only a temporary defeat. Now get up, wipe your face, and bring the mind of God to his people, and bring the mind of God to the world. You can't just worry about it. You got to envision it. You got to re-envision what he's given you. You got to re-envision the possibilities and re-envision the outcome of what he's given you. And that's the problem. We get excited about the outcome, but we don't want to deal with the process. And the 10th one is recognize your bad habits and behaviors. My bad habits and behaviors is what got me in trouble and caused some certain things to fail in ministry and in business, in my life. And if any mature person will tell you, and they tell you the truth, it is that has been their downfall for many things. Failure is the result of bad habits that were ingrained in me from years and years. Bad habits can ruin your chance for success and victory in anything. I was like, change me right now, God. When I really start paying attention to my patterns of behavior and habits, I'm like, God, I got to change. You got to help me, because I didn't have that mind to really do it, some things on my own. I really needed him to come in. I really needed the mind of God. And if success means enough to you, you will begin to change. It meant everything to me. But Amos is what brought me back into focus of how I can change and how I can really change the pattern and the course of my ministry, my life, my home life, my business, how I could change the course. And it was Amos chapter 5, verse 4. It says, "For thus saith the Lord to the house of Israel, seek me, inquire for and of me, and require me as you require food, and you shall live." I wanted to live in the plan of God. I wanted to live in the promise of God. I wanted to live in his intent and purposes. I wanted to live, and I didn't want to live begrudgingly. I wanted to live in its full potential. I wanted to maximize what God had given me. I wanted to maximize my life in it. But I had to seek him like I eat. Not just on Sunday or a weeknight. Not just when things were bad. Every day, all day, I had to seek him. Just as I desired food, I desired him. I had to seek him. And that's what I did. And slowly and consistently, I modified my behavior over time. And it did help me really rearrange and be consistent in my behavior and my habits. And those things that was holding me back, I began to move forward, because those behaviors were the things that held me back. But I began to move forward. And when I moved forward, things began to open up. Doors began to open. Pathways began to open. Creativity began to come alive in me, because I changed the pattern. And when you change the pattern, that means some thoughts have to change for me to change the pattern and behaviors. My thought, my character had to change in order for my behavior and habits to change. I wanted to live. I wanted to prosper in the plan of God. And that's what we're talking about. How failure can work in your favor. Be determined to live and prosper in the plan of God. This is Tati from the Power Surge Corner blog, always known as Shepherdess Natasha Pyramid Powell. You be encouraged. Failure will work in your favor if you let it. Open your eyes and let God come in. Talk to you soon. You be encouraged.